Hi, you guys. Today I want to I'm being led to talk to you guys about God's side and the devil's side. Basically, we're talking about the brain, the attributes, the behavior patterns of human nature, but in a spiritual sense. Okay? So, very abstract thinking. This is what I got from spirit. And I see things on a different, they help me to see things on a different level. So, I'm just going to share my perspective with you guys. Comment below if you agree or disagree with your thoughts on it. So, we have a God side and a devil side, and a lot of people don't understand that that's what whoever wrote the Bible, God, Jesus, the prophets, the disciples. I'm not trying to debate on that. But this is the point that I've taken from, this is the perspective and what from my experience that I've taken from the Bible. That is talking about basically human nature and how our brain works, basically. You know what I'm saying? So when we talk about the God side, the devil side, we like to think of it as black and white. And for the most part, for some basic stuff, it is black and white. But on some levels, it is not black and white. And this is where a lot of people get confused at. See, a lot of things that we think are good are really bad or evil for us. And a lot of things that we think are bad or evil are really good. And this is where the trickery comes in at. So let's just break this down. Okay. In the Bible, or just in life in general, our God side, we like to attribute what attributes we like to attribute to that, like love, light, positivity. And don't get me wrong, those are all God's attributes. Those all your God side's attributes. So if those are all your God side's attributes, okay, let's think about the devil attributes: jealousy, hate, envy. And those are pretty basic things, for God and devil side. But here's where you get tricky at. When they're talking about the devil side, they're talking about you being locked into your lower self. Basically, you are performing from a mental block space, meaning that you can't reach your higher self. And if you are reaching your higher self, you're on a demonic frequency, meaning that it's coming from your devil side. Don't get me wrong, you need both. That's why God gave you both. You need both so you can have the spirit of discernment. But if you have personality, say people with personality disorders, and this is not an attack, but this is from real life experience. I've experienced people who have personality disorders, and we're gonna take narcissism and psychopaths. What they call it, antisocial disorder now. I guess it's supposed to be a cuter name. If you hear some banging or something, they're outside painting, so excuse that noise. But basically, that's someone that's stuck in their devil side. That just means you're mentally ill and you're locked into your devil side. That's exactly what that means. It means that you are, if you have a personality, if you're diagnosed with a personality disorder or an antisocial disorder, which is a fancy word for psychopath, somebody that has no empathy left, none. This it's gone. You feel me? So, it's funny. I'm laughing, but it's not funny. It really is. I've experienced people like that, and it's not fun. It's not fun because they put on a false persona, which is a false like being. Because they're a person, they're a human being, so being false because they're not being their true self. So that's what you call a false like being. They're being false. They're not being their true self. They're not being authentically them, because we all born in love. Unless you're a child of the devil. If you just say you born from Satan, then okay, I get it. You just a demon. We're talking about human beings here. You know what I'm saying? Human beings with the devil side and the God side, because we both have them. We both need both. So, and we have to feed them equally. I won't say equally. I would feed my God side more than my devil side, because that's my equal. That's my equal balance. So, yeah. If you have any of those disorders, that means you're just stuck in your lower self. And it says it's easy just to say you're just stuck there, but that means you're not. You're probably ascending, but from my point of view, because I am whole and balanced, I feel like you're descending. To me, and somebody in their whole self would say that you're descending because you're not contribute to your God side at all. And anything that you do, that you say that you're doing out of love, is really not. It's out of hate, because you don't really love yourself. If you loved yourself, you wouldn't do harm to other people. You wouldn't harm other people unless it's justified, meaning that you're protecting yourself. You're not just sitting back going for your God side. People won't leave you alone. People keep messing with you. That's a different story. That's a whole different story. But for somebody that just constantly is jealous, evil, just you're out here just doing crazy stuff and you have no reason to do it, it just fulfills you. You're locked into your lower self. You're locked into your devil side, and you're enjoying it. 9 times out of 10, you're descending from a person who's whole. Whole. I like to say I'm whole, and I am, because I do healing work to heal myself. I didn't have a personality disorder, so let's just say that. But just cleaning out toxicities out your cycles, out your brain, out your psyche, that's what I did to heal myself. So I deprogram myself from society way of thinking, and a lot of stuff that I used to watch and eat, and I just don't do it no more, because it's not feeding my God side. It's not feeding for the greater good at all. You feel me? So if you're doing all those low frequency things, just know you're descending into a demon. And if you get gratification out of it, you might want to go, check in with yourself and be like, hey, why do I do this, or why do I do that? Or maybe not, you just like it. But I'm just trying to explain to you the difference between the God side and the devil side. Most of the false light beings, which is people who are locked in their devil side, they call them mentally ill. In spirituality, it is just simply you come from a place of hate, because you hate yourself. In order to spew hate, you have to have hated yourself. You hate yourself. So if you're hating yourself, then you can't love nobody, because you don't love yourself. It's just that simple. You're pouring from your devil self, and you're pouring negative energy into the world. And that's basically your devil side. A lot of people say, oh, you do no harm. Yeah, you could do no harm, but people like that's antisocial disorder and narcissism, this personality disorder. Those people tend to there's a whole different level of living out here. You get what I'm saying? If you experience somebody like that, you understand that these people are tricky. Like, they'll put on the show, and then you know that they are pure evil underneath it. And that's why people say pure evil. That's what pure evil is. People think that the demon is gonna come out the ground or something. No, the demon is the person that's smiling at you, that's pretending to be your lover, your friend, your family member. That's the demon. That's what you are ascending in demonic stuff, but you're descending in God stuff, because the more choices you make against your God side, the more you hate yourself, that's the lower you become. It's high in the devil's, if you are coming from the devil side of yourself, that's like, oh, I feel so good, I feel so great, but you're not being your true self, because God made you the one true and living God, made you, the universe, Gaia, whatever you prefer to the source as, made you out of love. Because if you wasn't loved, you wouldn't be here. So you are already loved, but you're deceiving yourself that you're not, because you don't love yourself. And how can anybody love you if you don't love yourself? God already loves you. He gave you everything that you need. You went through a circumstance or a situation that made you this way, and you chose that to stay locked in itself. You let that person have power, or that situation have power over you. And that's simply what the devil side is. It's not some evil being. Oh no, it's people who choose to do evil from an evil place. Good people do bad things. That's why good people can do bad things, because it's about learning and experiencing. It's not that person. That's why when you hear the expressions like, that person is a good person, good man, they just did this one thing. That's because they really come from a good place, but something might have just took them out of character. But their character is not evil. Their soul is not evil, because they love themselves. They just got taken out of character, and that's two totally different things. So, yeah, this video, I guess I'm just gonna talk about the devil side because that's what I'm being led to. I want to go and talk about the God side, but I'm just gonna refer to it in this video, I guess. I'm strictly being led by spirit here. So when you're locked into your devil side, you tend to have personality disorders. I mean, a truly evil person has personality disorder. They're antisocial. There's a psychopath disorder, narcissism. Those typically, and then the aware narcissist, the aware psychopath is more dangerous, I think. In a sense, they're more dangerous because they know how to go in and cover up these disorders and cover up this stuff. And these type of people usually don't ask for help. They usually don't go say, hey, there's something wrong with me. Can you help me? They don't usually ask for help. And that's what's so dangerous about it. This is what makes these people who are locked in their devil side, which are meaning that they are becoming more and more of a demonic, meaning that they're coming more wicked. This is what the Bible was referring to when he said that the devil, when they talk about the devil, the beast, he talking about the devil side of the human being, and people being, that's what Jesus meant, that people are being locked. They lock themselves into an experience or into a person that did them wrong. They lock themselves into that experience or let that person take their power to the point where they don't love themselves. That's why it's important to clean out your toxic cycle. Everybody has them. Not one person have them unless you purposely go in and clean them out. You have them. You may not express them all the time, but it's within your psyche. That's just the way the world is. It's just the price we pay to live on this planet. So if you say, oh, I'm not toxic, boo, you are. Just because you're not acting it out right now, it's locked in your soul. You can't lie to God. You can't lie to yourself. I mean, you can, but your true self, your soul knows that you're lying to yourself because you're not going to be able to connect to your higher self, honey. So I need you guys to understand that this is what that means when they say false light being, false prophet, false. That's what the Bible is simply talking about. People with mental illnesses that won't ask for help. That means like, I'm good, I'm okay. They trick themselves into thinking that that's their God side, that they're doing it because they can outsmart everybody or outthink it, but that's not true. Because a true connection is in pure love. God said, I am love, meaning your God side should come from love. You have to love yourself in order to love others, else you're going to pour from an empty cup and remain drained. You get what I'm saying? So if you're locked into your double self, you already fooled yourself. You fooling your 3D self because your higher self, they know. Honey, she ain't been tapping in.